What is up, guys? It's Alex Johnson here, the founder and lead analyst at yardsperfantasy.com. Welcome into the 28th episode of the Feed Me Fantasy podcast. Let's eat. Here we go with another rookie profile. We've covered Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase, Najee Harris, and Travis Etienne so far, and have another exciting prospect teed up for you today. We're going with Minnesota wide receiver Rashod Bateman, who stands 6'1", 210 pounds, and is an early declare. Bateman was a four-star recruit coming out of high school in Trinity, Georgia, where he started both on the gridiron and the basketball court. On the football field, Bateman received first-team All-State honors and broke school records by catching 83 balls for 1,539 yards and 21 touchdowns during his 2017 senior season. 247 Sports ranked him as the 31st receiver in his recruiting class. He received offers from Florida Atlantic, Appalachian State, Chattanooga, and Coastal Carolina prior to committing to Minnesota. As a freshman, he caught 51 passes for 704 yards with a 13.8 yards per reception average and 6 touchdowns, which included a 175-yard, 2-touchdown performance against Illinois. As a freshman. Impressively, at just 18 years old, it was considered his breakout campaign with a 29.2% share of the team's passing production. He did that even in the presence of the ultra-productive Tyler Johnson. Bateman's career took off in 2019 with 1,219 yards on 60 receptions with a 20.3 yards per reception average and 11 touchdowns. That included a 203-yard day against Penn State and 4 other outings of over 100 yards. His 12.4 yards per target ranks 5th among all wide receivers in college football per PFF. While still competing for targets with the upperclassman Johnson, Bateman still managed 28.3% of the receptions, 37% of the receiving yards, and 35.5% of the receiving touchdowns, all while averaging an impressive 3.77 yards per team pass attempt. He also led the nation in yards per route run when lined up out wide per PFF, and that was 3.6. The 2020 season brought a lot of diversity due to COVID-19. Bateman originally opted out of the season to prepare for the NFL draft process, but then decided to opt back in. After playing 5 games, Bateman chose to opt out again, and this time for good. In those 5 games, though, he topped 100 yards 3 times to finish with 472 yards and 2 scores on 36 receptions and a 13.1 yards per reception average. He accounted for 47.4% of the team receptions, 45.7% of the receiving yards, and 50% of the touchdown receptions over those 5 games. His 3.69 yards per team pass attempt was 3rd behind Dwayne Eskridge and Devontae Smith. So let's talk positives. The things that we like in Bateman's profile. First, he owns a 43.7% college dominator rating, which lands in the 88th percentile according to Player Profiler. His 30.4% 2020 target share is in the 87th percentile. Bateman's 18.8 freshman season breakout age is very exciting and in the 94th percentile. I love his sophomore season, 1,219 yards as well. That early production is so important, man, and probably the best indicator of later production. Bateman excels off the line, as well as body positioning and ball tracking. Every scouting report I read has raved about his release tactics. According to PFF, he was top 10 in deep targets and deep catches in 2019. He averaged 3.48 yards per route in 2020. While separation is an elite trait of his, he can also win in contested situations, as we see in his 63.2% contested catch rate in 2019. In the 5 games he played in during 2020, Bateman averaged 3.69 yards per team pass attempt and 7.2 receptions per game. Now, on the negative side, he doesn't possess elite speed, though I do expect him to test fine. He had some drop issues, but nothing too glaring. And finally, he had 0 career rush attempts and 0 career kick or punt returns. Wrapping it all together now, Rashod Bateman isn't a burner, but that's okay. Instead, he excels on short and intermediate routes using his elite release tactics to separate from his opponents. He's great at tracking the football and knowing exactly how to position himself to win in contested situations. Of course, we know he was top 10 in deep targets and deep receptions in 2019, so he's no slouch downfield either. Bateman's age-adjusted production and market share numbers pop off the sheet. Even in a COVID-shortened season, he maintained high target share and reception share numbers while dominating at a nearly 45% rate. Bateman is absolutely in the conversation as one of the top wideouts in the class after Jamar Chase. He has everything to be an alpha at the next level, and he will be a first-round pick in both the NFL draft and Dynasty rookie drafts. But that's going to be a wrap for today, though. If you're not already, please follow me on Twitter at @A_JohnsonFF and the site at YardsPer. Please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Also, please be sure to rate and review. It really helps me out a lot and is much appreciated. Thanks, guys. Cue that music.